Right, folks, our next talk is done by my fellow colleague Ilya. We are from CASE, and his talk is called Who Should Write Autotests?
Hello everyone, Baremzes, Привет, Aloha, is comfortable for you, Shalom. Glad to see you. My name is Ilya, and it's my first meetup in English, and that's why I'm a little nervous and a little shy about my English, but I think it's very interesting experience and very useful for me. Let's try. Today I want to speak about such interesting and important topic as who should write autotests. But first I want to speak about me, to speak about you, get more information. Start from me. On the slide you can see some of my achievements, but it's not so important because it's not at all. And really important, last point. I love my job and teaching, and I want to be helpful. I have been working in IT 10 years, and I have been working in quality assurance 7 years. That's why I have many experience, and I want to share it. Maybe it could be useful for someone. On these years, I have seen really shit, and I have many positions. I worked as QA engineer, QA automation engineer, head of QA department, head of SDT department, head of DevOps department, team lead of development team, Scrum Master, director of solution engineering, and I worked as pre-sale engineer, teaching, organizer of courses, mentor, mentor of mentor, and something else. It's really many positions, and that's why I talking about I have seen really shit. At this event, I represent a case company with which I actively cooperate, and let's go to other slide. Now I want to ask you a couple of questions, and if answer on these questions is yes, raise your hand, okay? Mm-hmm. The first questions: who thinks developers should write autotests? Raise your hand. Okay. Who thinks that quality assurance engineer should write autotests? Who thinks that they shouldn't write autotests?
Who is they?
They, developers and QA.
They definitely.
Okay. Why am I asking these questions? Unfortunately, in IT industry, we have such problems as developers and quality assurance engineers oppose each other. And it's a very big problem, I think. And we completely disagree with it in case we want others. The next slide. We have an idea that end-to-end auto tests, it's part of development tasks, and we want that developers will write them, will write auto tests. Why we need it? We have 3 reasons. The first reason, we don't have many quality assurance automation engineers, but we need write many auto tests, and we need to do it faster. That's why we need more people, and we want developers. Second reason, time to market is important for us, but we need high-level quality. And we can't write auto tests slowly, we need to do it faster. The third reason, we are a small, dynamic startup, and our developers want to get new skills, and they can write auto tests. It's very good for them, it's very good for us. So, what I've described looks like ideal process, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. But how to build it? I think something like this picture, how to draw an O, draw some circles, and draw the rest of the fucking O. we can build process something like this. Oh, okay, joke. If we're talking about seriously, we just start this process and we need complete more tasks. We need reorganize our development process, our estimation process, and complete on the code conventions. And we didn't do it. After that, we can discuss about it, but not today. Let's go to the next slide. In fact, this is about uniting people. It's about engineering culture. We want to live in the same castle, and we want to build a better world around us together. We want the developers and quality assurance engineer working together and not opposed to each other. QA is not an individual, but part of engineering culture. We want to roll out to the production really quality product. And QA is not responsibility of quality assurance engineer. QA is a responsibility engineering principle. Okay. But I have one question. It always useful and it always work? I don't think so. Of course, no. Like this, this person. We have two knights. Left knights want create castle, want horse. Right knights is space mercenary, and this person don't want castle, don't want horse. She want this person want spaceship and journey, but they very similar, but they goals different. So, what is very good for a small ambitious startup, maybe not so good for big outsourcing company, for example. And there is no goal to increase cost for employer and create multifunctional person, more comfortable working with a big team. It's really simple. It's better for business to sell more positions for the project. It's easy to pay for the outsourcing clients, for example. And I went through it. I worked in outsourcing many years, and I understood that it's not suited for me. I go into the product company, and I think I can use my outsourcing skills in product, because in outsourcing you can use many languages, many technologies, many projects, working with many clients, and it's really good experience in product because you can view on product from different sides. Product often can't create this this way. Outsourcing gave me a lot of growth. In it, you get a specialization. You grow very quickly from zero to hero, thanks processes and mentors, and the product doesn't work that way. Okay. Even companies of the same type, like Castle, will have different problems, different needs, like these two castles. They are both for night, but they have really different tasks, they different problems. This castle, right castle, looks like shit. It's really bad castle, I think. Left castle looks beautiful. They of the same type, but really different. And what to say about completely different company? In one case, we need a castle. In another case, we need a Death Star. Completely different things. I have one question. Where do you live? Where do you want to be? Maybe now you underwater, on air, in castle, maybe on space, but where you want to be? Maybe you want to be somewhere else? Who should write auto tests? I don't know. Much depends on your situation, on your goals, on type of business, on your team and other things. You need to answer this question yourself. For me, personality, it is important that we make really quality product make our clients happy and that I can proud of it. And how we will achieve, this is a completely different story. It's not so important today. And it doesn't matter at all what a particular person, for example me, doing in this story. It's not important. As I said, I myself switched from outsourcing to a product and helped other people doing this. It is possible, it is useful, sometimes it's necessary if outsourcing don't suit such person. There is no need to be afraid of change. You decide where you will be and how you will apply your skills. Let's talk about tattoos. Raise your hand if you have tattoos. Oh, so many people. I have sleeve. Yeah, maybe these guys can show these tattoos, but after this meetup, on the after party. If you want a tattoo, but you don't understand it's yours or not, you don't need create large sleeve. You can create small tattoos on invisible place. And let's understand, I like it, I want to create other, I want to create big sleeve, it's okay. And in technical terms, something like this. If you don't understand, can you create big changes, create auto tests with developers, you can start with step by step. For example, with data attribute. We use it as locators for our auto tests, and it's very big plus for us because data attributes more comfortable because data attributes for auto tests only, and developers can change it for development needs, and it's really unique locators for us. This is exactly the attribute for auto tests. Using them helps to better understand our front end for QA engineers, because QA engineers edit this on application pages. And that's why we understand each other better after use it. As a result, testers and fronts took a fresh look at the product in terms of automation and user scenarios. We begin understand each other better, and testers said something like, we better understand how we can create test case when this test case can be automated. And our front-end engineers said something like, we understand better how we can create product that this can automate it and testable better. And it's about team building. It's really good for us. This picture is perfect for us, but maybe not for you. You need thinking about it. You need analyze changes and thinking about plus for you. We managed to add writing auto tests to the work of each engineer to bring the quality to a new level. But we became faster, better, and understand each other better. But transition is always hard. And you can start with small changes. You can add data attribute as locators for your auto tests, and it's first step. It's okay, it's really good. You can make the transition slower. Who doesn't know what a data attribute is? Raise your hand. We need this slide or not?
Yes. Doesn't.
Doesn't?
Everyone does.
Okay, it's really good. Skip this.
I know what is data attributes. Just achieve them.
Okay.
Oh no.
Proceed.
Okay, proceed.
We'll explain anyway.
Okay. Do I need to dedicate a separate slide to this? Yes, okay. The data attribute is a custom attribute on an element whose name starts with data, and we can use it to store various information about an element, including to order and get a unique element identifier for auto test. On this slide, we can see a div element and a class attribute with value status, and we have data attribute, data status with value cool. And cool can be unique identifier for this element, and we can use it. When you take a step, come to talk. We can compare tattoos, processes, auto tests, and something else. Let's go back to the question at the beginning. Why I raised my hand on each options? Because all compare on your situation, on your team, on your framework, on your business and other things. And I can give you decision, I can give you option, I can give you example, and you need thinking about it, and don't afraid changes. You can start with small changes, and it's okay in IT. That's all I think, and here is my contact. If you just want to chat with me, you can use private message in Telegram and use QR code on the right side or on the left side if we front to screen. And if it's fun for you, read something like this presentation, you can use other QR code and join my Telegram channel. In this channel, I create some articles about quality assurance, about quality assurance automation instrument, about processes and something funny things, and we can discuss about something in this channel. That's all. I am open to the question. Thank you so much. Glad to see you.
Thank you. Questions? Good. Questions.
Okay, thank you for your talk, but you doesn't answer to your question and you choose for us, but how about don't separate roles? How about make QA rating its software development process in one person? So how about teaching developers to write tests? We currently have doesn't enough QA culture in developers, and this is I think instead of create separate roles and separate activities, I think software industry should be teach developers and make QA tests. It should be the same activity as write code. So it should be not be different. It's from my point of view, my perspective.
Yeah, I completely agree with this point. Write auto tests and write
Code.
application code. It's a really similar task, and it's not about difference. I don't answer my questions. It's okay. I want that you answer this question yourself. You're thinking about it. Check your situation, check your instrument, check your goals, and answer the question. What about how teach developers quality assurance? We can different way. We can go in different way. In our case, we have one senior engineer for Autotest. It's me, and I create architecture. I create some blades. And,
The approach even, the whole process.
Yeah. Create infrastructure, create many things for start. And after that, we have meeting with developers. I describe why it's need, why it's helpful for developers. Now they can create code, create feature, go to the Bitbucket, start auto tests and get information about your changes, and have information about bug. And it's really helpful for developers. They don't need QA, they don't need wait something.
Yeah, feedback cycle is short, very short.
We have smaller period from create code to release, and developers understand me, and we often have meetings. We change our architecture. Developers go through this process and we talking about it. It's really interesting for me because we can use some developers patterns. It's symbiosis. We working together, we understand each other, and it's really helpful for QA, for business, for developers, for all people.
Ilya, you showed on one of your slides that we'll want to live in one castle. So it's essentially that. If we work on the same product, we want to have knowledge overlap, as Ilya said, from QA and from developers, so that more we know of the same thing, better we work.
If you have people with the same engineering culture, it's easy process really. You can talking with each other, you understand your goals, its goals the same, and that's why it's easy process for us.
But in some companies it is hard when you have a separate, as on one of the slides, separate castles. One castle for QA, one castle for development, then it's going to be seriously hard.
That's why I talking about it's good for us, maybe it's not so good for you.
Yeah, I've seen engineering directors saying, well, no, it's not for you developers to write tests, it's for them. They have their own head of department, go talk to them. More questions?
Thank you for the question.
So I think in current world, neither testers nor developers should write tests. I think ChatGPT should write tests. And so seriously, what do you think about this approach?
Okay, what I think about ChatGPT, AI testing, and something else. I have experience with many instruments for recording testing, something like Selenium IDE, Playwright Recorder, and something else. It's really bad code. I can't support this because this locators is, oh my god, and we don't use it. And I think ChatGPT create code something like this many years. Maybe in the future, after 5 years, maybe 6 years, we can use it. And if it's possible, we have new position, speaker with AI, speaker with something else, because AI want
Good prompt. They need
good prompt, yeah. And some clients can create it, some managers can create it, something like SEO and other people. And that's why quality assurance is quality assurance
It's a
can
culture,
be,
right? It's for
yeah,
people.
can believe in this world. We need testing after AI creation because
That's for
we
sure.
don't know. Maybe it's really shit and it's just black box. We going to production? I don't think so.
That's the problem with AI, yes. So it's like a parrot having learned 150 petabytes of data. So it produces something, but you have to validate the output anyway, because it can produce, as you might have seen, funny screenshots. It can produce complete bullshit, right? So you wouldn't trust your products to use that.
We can save 1 day for writing a test, and we will spend 5 days to validate this test.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah,
But I've seen very interesting approach. I've seen a paper showing mutation testing code generated by the neural network. That works really well. They proved that the neural network, having like thousands of patterns of mutation, can produce mutation testing code. But it's throwaway code. You test it, you throw away. It doesn't matter what data you put into your mutation anyway. You just see that it's working or not.
And I don't know how AI can work with large project, how AI works with updating. If I want add one test, how it works with AI, I don't know. Many questions, and that's why it's not a problem for me.
The future of AI is uncertain.
Yeah, but if it's work correctly, it's really good. We can use it. Okay.
Yeah, just a small note on it. We also looked at how ChatGPT works with code, and it feels like the answers it provides are not accepted by Stack Overflow because they have lots of mistakes. But I know that there are currently positions of teaching ChatGPT of writing the code. And maybe it's not the question of like 5 or 7 years. If we have lots of senior developers teaching one ChatGPT, maybe it would be faster than like in the university we get sort of like a junior developer after 5 years of being teaching, but like sequentially. And if we have one ChatGPT being taught by senior engineers, but in parallel, maybe we'll have some sufficient code, but definitely with somebody to look at it before being deployed.
Let's pay $10 billion from Microsoft to me.
But then,
I will write the code with ChatGPT.
with what you said, there is a problem that you need senior developers, right? If your old senior developers die, what you're gonna do? You haven't created junior developers. You haven't taught them anything.
Asimov made a point about
Of course.
Currently, a lot of junior developers on five.
The idea of writing automation test cases by developer kind of good, but there would be many cases, each cases that developer maybe won't have time to think of each case to write. And I think that's more QA's responsibility to think about some cases, edge cases. But for example, regarding unit test cases, I think that they should be written by a developer because it would be much better to be written by the same person who wrote the code than by the QA. Do you agree that unit tests, for example, should be written by developer?
I want all tests should be right on developer, and I want that case can be company with universal specialist, and we can create feature, test it, and something else because we want small time between steps. We create requirements, we create feature, we test it, we create automation test, we release it. I want really small time for this process.
Minimal time to market, yes?
Yes, minimal time to market, yes. And that's why we really small. We have only 30 people right now, and we can do it. Company with 1,000 people, I think can't. It's okay. But we can, and it's our concurrent
Process, that's what we're doing, yes. And there is also a very interesting point you mentioned. You think that QA engineers know better how to test code, but they can teach developers. Yes, there's different mindset for sure, but this can be taught to a certain degree. And of course, some people will still excel in testing and be somewhat good developer. Some people will be great developers and somewhat good QA engineers.
And one note, some developers knows how we can create code auto tests better. It's really, I cooperate with our senior front-end developers, and my
Expertise.
expertise and my experience plus their experience, it's really good symbiosis. We can create something greatable together, of course.
Thank you. Thank you. So we all know about the benefits of AI and ML in the automation and every day. And personally, I'm also a QA automation, but I'm curious about how we should, or can you share with us some experience if you have, how they test the AI application itself? For example, how Tesla tests their application, or how ChatGPT tests their application. So we know some techniques like unit tests, integration tests. This is all, but consider that you are training some AI machine learning, and you want to have some automation tests for that machine, for that application. So I'm always thinking about how they are testing this application. Yeah.
I don't know, and that's why I don't understand how we can use AI testing
in production?
No,
In our process,
ближайшее время.
in the nearest future.
In this year, I think. That's why I think we need many years while we can use it, because I don't understand how it works, and if AI create auto test for me, I really won't test it, because I don't know, maybe it's really shit and I don't know about it and I test it.
If the model is 100% predictable, it's not a proper model, right?
Yeah.
So, but if it's not 100% predictable, how can we use it?
And I don't know.
So the question about testing is very interesting. We can certainly test the mechanism used for teaching, like the algorithm, right, that it is applied, because it's just code. But the result, the neural network, I'm not sure. Very interesting. Thank you. Yeah.
Hello. Thank you for the speech. Very interesting. And I congratulate you with your first English meetup. It's great.
Thank you so much. It's really nervous for me.
Yeah, that was great. My question is from the process point of view, not from developer. Okay, let's imagine if all tests in our application will be written by developers. How can we deal with conflict of interest? I am a developer, I am writing code, company pay me for that, and I am a tester and I am check myself. In case if I'm a very bad man, I can corrupt that. How can we deal with that in this case where we have no any testers and any supervisors for result of my work as a developer?
If you're a bad guy, it's not about our engineering culture, and I don't hire you.
That's a cultural question, yeah, that's
Yeah.
for sure. Because there are low trust teams like you have with complete freelancers, right? You know, you hire someone and you check thoroughly what he's done or she has done. You have to check it. Yes, in that case, you will have quality control after what the person has done.
And in company we have quality assurance engineer in each team. We have developers, we have automation engineer, we have some roles, and we work together and control our result. All team members really want that our product be great, with high level quality, and we really want proud of it. And that's why conflict interest is not about our team.
Okay, okay, sorry. As I understand you correct, the level of trust and checking the level of trust is a validation process for that. If you don't trust me, you will fire me, and I'm not in your team. But if you trust me, I want to
Work well.
work well and do not break your trust.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
thanks.
if we have some problems, we have
1 month.
no.
No? Postmortem.
Yeah, we have postmortem, and we analyze reasons and create decisions, and we
fix it.
we
Essentially, it's
fix
not.
it and create better process.
Yeah, it's
We-
not
we
about
want
people.
to
It's
really-
about people. It's about the process. If the person doesn't know something, well, then we teach the person. If the person misbehaved for some strange reason, well, we can do something with the person as well. We can either explain why it's not proper to do like that, or we can fire the person. Again, it's about trust. I think there are two distinct cultures in many companies. Culture of lack of trust, where people are controlled with cameras, with time trackers, with everything. And there is a culture of trust. Culture of trust allows us to move faster. That's generally it. Because if I trust Ilya to do a great job, I won't control him. I won't waste my time on that. That's it.
And I know about if we have 1,000 people, we can't control it.
Yeah.
It's really a big problem in this case. But if we have only 30 people, it's really good work.
You know, my problem is that sometimes I don't trust myself when I write a code.
Right test.
Right test, yes.
Right test on this functionality and trust.
Yeah, thank you.
Cool. More questions. Yay! Just 1 second.
Yeah. So
Can we consider testing is like an additional layer after developer does his work? Like we are speaking about developer writing the test cases, right? But we don't think that the actual tester should think about those cases. Like developers know how to develop, but how the product is actually working knows the tester. So I think the lack of developers in automation testing appears when there is a lack of coding in the testers. So,
I'm not. Mhm.
so if the automation engineer can write tests, it's good for a company. But if not, if he has any questions related to coding, he can ask to developers. And also in small companies, I face that developers don't have that much time to work on the automation cases because they are like considered on their own work and their own tasks. How you manage to handle that kind of situations when developers don't have that capacity or developer don't have the right person near him who can tell some prior corner cases which developer can't see. Like.
In this case, if we don't have time for auto tests for developers, we change our process and tasks can be complete without auto tests.
Yeah, if you don't have time, just have time. That's it.
We have time, yes. Yeah, we create some tasks longer. It's okay for us. We discuss about it with SEO, we discuss about it with CTO, and we understand why we do it. We do it for
Specific reasons, just to get
for
something out.
specific reasons, for more count of auto tests, for high level quality, for simple process of delivery, and we need it. We need really good CI/CD process with auto tests, and we need resources for it. It's okay for us.
For me, it's very simple as well. If we care of the reputation of our product and of the quality of the product, we need to invest in proper quality. So that we just need to do something. Either we invest into quality control after it's done, but it's sometimes cheaper to automate it. That's it.
If you don't have time, create time.
Yeah. And again, if you're testing everything manually, or if other people are testing something manually, it's still company time wasted in it, right? So it might be a matter of communication. If you have a separate QA department, maybe you can gather and go talk to the CTO to have time. Yes. First chair.
Thank you for presentation. I think everybody should write tests, but the developers write unit test and QA or is that write end-to-end and integrational test. Everybody does that. He or she can do. What do you think about it? Thank you.
I think all team members create all tests. That's all. It's really good for me.
Well, I often see this conception that some roles must do something and some other roles must do something. I think we shouldn't be that rigid. I think we might at least try to do something else. Because knowledge overlap as the concept is very powerful. If you have QA, manual QA engineer knowing how to write code, at least auto test, it's much better for everyone in the company. And if you have proper senior backend developer knowing how to test stuff, that's better for the company as well. Because they share the same knowledge then, the same language.
And as I said, this way maybe don't for you, maybe don't for your company. I don't know your situation, your team members, your goals and other things, but in our case, all team members create tests, all tests.
I've seen companies with strict grading systems where if you're a front-end engineer, don't ever touch automation tests. It's not your job position, it's not your job description, that's it. So if you want to grow with your grades and with your pay, then don't touch auto tests. So for that company, this advice won't work, of course.
Yes, and if you're QA engineer, don't touch code and you will die tomorrow.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you. If developers will write tests, what will testers do?
Write tests. And I write tests. And everyone write tests.
Thank you.
And we have a high quality level, it's okay.
And I would also add that there is, again, a popular myth or misconception that if people are not busy, they're not productive. So if you have quality control specialist, manual QA, right? And if he sits or she sits in the product team and currently is not occupied, some managers tell them, why aren't you doing anything? Well, essentially, we don't need to optimize for utilization. We don't need to have everyone working at the same time. Because if everyone works at the same time, all the time, then we have traffic jams. Like, see any big road, if it's optimized for utilization of square meters, then the traffic jam is just dead. You can't move. That's I think it's Amdahl's law in parallel computation, that you are limited in the increase of performance when you parallelize. So if you have all the team members utilize 100%, the team is much slower than when you have people doing nothing sometimes.
I will say it to my manager.
Yeah, sure. I have so many talks about that.
So many insights.
Yeah. There is a very good talk on the YouTube called Utilization Trap. Google it. It's very good.
I think we
Yeah.
don't have time.
Yes, yeah, time is out. Thank you.
Thank you.
We won't.
Thank you so much. Thank you.